Welcome to VSB News Online for Thursday, June 25th. I'm Peter Cattell. The church massacre in Charleston cast a shadow over the Senate chamber on Wednesday and led to a wide debate on race relations. Government Senator Jeff Barron offered what was described as an olive branch on behalf of his race.
I'm sitting here saying that we should have a constructive conversation about race relations in Bermuda. I say that with humility. It's a plea. It is not something that I'm saying I have answers to. It is just something that I am concerned about, because when reading online posts that are so hateful towards, frankly, all races, it goes back and forth with some people you know, some people you don't know. I think it is only fuels this distrust. It doesn't serve to better our position here in Bermuda. Someone said, look, coming to Bermuda, this is a tourist of mixed race. Coming to Bermuda, I always felt very, very comfortable, and never thought that race was a massive issue in Bermuda. It wasn't in my face until I read the newspaper online.
But opposition leader Diala Rabane said that it would take a dramatic turnaround by white residents to effect any real change.
One thing that in my mind needs to happen is white Bermuda needs to understand the privilege that they enjoy just waking up as a white person in Bermuda, and understand that black Bermuda, for the most part, does not have that privilege and cannot exercise that privilege. That's where we are. To put it in perspective, if we're running a 100-meter race, the white community in Bermuda is already at the 50-yard line before the black person gets to start. That's where we are. So we can say that we're equal. No, we have equal opportunity. We have equal opportunity to education. Some will argue to employment and the like. But how do you catch up to someone who's 50 yards ahead of you? Yeah, we're equal with all those older things, education and the like, but you're already that far ahead, right? So if we want to get better, white Bermuda needs to figure out a way to stop, turn around, and understand that there is still a race of people that is far behind.
Retail sales have increased for the 8th month in a row, as April managed to attract receipts of $89.1 million, compared with $85 million during the same month of the previous year. Motor vehicles recorded the largest growth in sales at 51.5%, while in contrast the retail sales of clothing fell 7.1%. Among the other sectors showing improved business were the building materials stores, up 5.5%, food up 2.9%, and all other store types up 2.2%. The sale of liquor fell 6.2%, and gas station receipts were down 6.8%. Residents returned from abroad with purchases worth $5 million, a 2% increase over the previous year. The attack in Parliament by Shadow Public Safety Minister Walter Roban against the plan to use volunteer KPMG graduates to assist in the processing of a backlog of status applications has appalled Home Affairs Minister Senator Michael Fay.
And we are talking again about individuals who have been in Bermuda as ordinary residents since at least 31st of July 1989. We're not talking about someone who came on an airplane yesterday. And I just find this overwhelming rhetoric about, in general spaces, about all these PRCs as if they are the worst thing that's ever happened to Bermuda. I find it terrible, and I think what it does is it fans discontent, and it fans some of the very behavior that we all are finding abhorrent around the community and around this table by using phrases and language that is designed to inflame by some, and maybe some say it and they don't realize how inflammatory it actually is, by those that are prepared to be led down a path of rhetoric and things that are simply wrong.
Some gloomy news on the employment front. The latest figures from government revealed that more than 800 jobs were lost last year. Chris Lodge has been looking at the stats.
The number of jobs held by Bermudians dropped by 671. The number of jobs held by non-Bermudians, excluding non-Bermudian spouses and permanent resident certificate holders, fell by 122 over the same period. Among non-Bermudian spouses, there were 13 fewer jobs, while the number of permanent resident certificate holders in jobs rose by 4. There was a total of 33,475 jobs counted back in 2014. This compared to 34,277 the year before. The survey carried out in August last year showed 13 of the 16 economic sectors experienced a drop in the number of staff. But the number of jobs in international business rose by 169 positions, while education, health and social work sector, and real estate and renting services area registered increases of 42 and 20 jobs respectively. And the median gross annual income for all job holders, that rose by 5%. I'm Chris Lodge, VSB News.
A cross-ministry community partnership has been established to ensure child safety while at camp. Minister of Community, Culture and Sports, Patricia Gordon-Pamplin, says the protocols that have been put in place covers all children at all camps.
With the summer holidays quickly approaching and the daunting task of finding safe, affordable camps, the Safe Camp Committee, with representatives from the Department of Child and Family Services, Youth and Sport, Child Development, Environmental Health, the Family Center, and the Coalition for the Protection of Children, has been set up with the purpose of ensuring that every child who attends a camp is safe. The committee was established as a result of the concerns expressed of camps, not just summer camps, not being monitored or regulated. The committee's purpose is twofold. One, to empower parents with the provision of information to ensure that the camps that they choose for their children are safe. Secondly, to provide camp operators with suggested guidelines to ensure that they are operating according to best practice standards.
Teenagers who have their first work experience at camps will be encouraged.
Many of our teenagers absolutely love children, and sometimes this is their first journey into how they embrace their love for children and perhaps even what they want to do in their future careers. So I believe that that interaction is to be encouraged. However, it is important that it is properly structured and properly supervised.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
At the Coalition for the Protection of Children, we believe that children are a gift. We all want to be able to give them all the time, nurturing, and financial support they need.
But raising kids today can be expensive.
You can spend more than $1,500 on diapers, $1,500 on baby food, and another $1,500 on formula. Why daycare can run you $9,000 to $10,000 a year. Then on to school uniforms for almost another $1,000. And we haven't even gotten to college yet. There are many options available for planning your family. The Coalition for the Protection of Children is there to help you decide. And don't worry about the expense of family planning. They are there to help you with that too. Just call or drop by their office anytime.
Senate has approved a new Vendors Act which moves the responsibility of licensing from the courts to the Bermuda Development Agency. But it also creates a 3-month vendor's license for anyone who is interested in seasonal employment. And this was welcomed by Independent Senator James Jardine.
Many students return home from university in the summertime. We all know how difficult it is for young people to find employment these days, particularly in the summertime. And this allows those individuals to have a license for a short period of time, set up a stall during the summer months, and perhaps earn some additional income. And so I think that's a good thing, and I was pleased to see that. That it will help to ensure that vendors who are micro business owners are registered and fulfill their mandatory government obligations in terms of taxes and social insurance. We all know that the government is looking for additional revenue, desperately needed revenue, and we all hate red tape and all that goes with that. But also there needs to be some responsibility by vendors to pay whatever fees and taxes are required. And so I think that that's an important thing that we should not lose sight of. So it seems to me, Madam President, that this is a welcome piece of legislation, should we say a tidy up and perhaps a little bit of a tighten up, to better control the selling of products outside of the usual retail business premises throughout the island, and to properly manage and give opportunities for young entrepreneurial Bermudians to consider this as another way in which to earn income.
After several consecutive decreases in Bermuda's rate of inflation from last October's high of 2.6%, April has shown a sudden lurch back upwards by 6 points, from 1.2% to 1.8%. The health and personal care sector was the largest contributor to this increase, thanks to the 9.8% surge in the cost of health insurance, as well as more expensive medicines. All other sectors showed minimal increases except for fuel and power, and food, which were unchanged for once. 14 senior students have become the first high school graduates to complete the Nurse's Assistant Certificate program introduced by the Bermuda College in January 2014 in a partnership with the Bermuda Hospitals Board and the Health and Education Ministries. The 14 females were described as trailblazers by college president Dr. Duranda Green, who urged them not to stop at the nursing assistant level, but to further their education in pursuit of a career in the healthcare profession. The BBC has featured the America's Cup for the first time at the top of its major news as the Brits prepare for next month's opening series in Portsmouth. The report gives Bermuda an idea of what to expect in terms of dramatic coverage when the series reaches the island in October.
Brand new headquarters for America Cup Challenge by Britain. It's the oldest international sporting trophy in the world. And guess what? Britain has never won it. Well, now Sir Ben Ainslie, using this vessel, is hoping to change all that.
The Solent has never seen anything like it. The flying boat of Ben Ainslie. Soaring and skimming, this is a life on top of the ocean wave. And the first time in 164 years, America's Cup has come to British waters. This phenomenal vessel rides high on carbon fibre foils. Just listen to the sound of speed. It's skippered by Ben Ainslie, Britain's Olympic gold medalist, who last time helped the Americans win. But not anymore.
These AC-45s can travel at around 50 knots out here on the open sea, even though they weigh more than a ton. No wonder they're called the Formula One of ocean racing. The idea is to be up out of the water, foiling along to minimise the drag, which is why they're more like a plane than a boat. Can Britain win the America's Cup?
Yeah, Britain can win the America's Cup. We need to win it. We've never won it in 164 years. It's going to be an incredibly tough challenge, but believe me, we would not be doing this if we didn't think we could win it.
Endeavour crosses the line with the American yacht slightly ahead.
He's right. Not since it began on the Solent in 1851 has Britain won it.
The crew are on their toes all the time, working with a will that makes for success.
But now, with this brand new headquarters in the heart of Portsmouth Harbour and his brand new team around him, Sir Ben believes he can slice through all competition and bring the oldest international trophy in world sport back home.
And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
The 29th Central American and Caribbean Swimming Championships finals took place in Barbados last evening, with Bermuda swimmers hitting the pool. Unfortunately, no medals were won. Skylar Powell finished 8th in the 11-12 girls 400-meter freestyle final with a time of 5 8.00.15. Powell also finished 8th in the 11 to 12 girls 400-meter breaststroke, clocking a time of 1:31.98. Clocking a time of 2:14.62, so Madeline Moore finished 6th in the 13 to 14 women's 200-meter freestyle final. Jesse Washington touched the wall in a time of 1:57.78 on his way to finishing 5th in the 15 to 17 men's 200-meter freestyle final, while Philip Hagan finished 8th in the same final with a time of 2:00.72. The 2015 Bank of Bermuda Foundation ITF Junior Circuit Tennis Tournament continued at the W.E.R. Joe Tennis Stadium yesterday. In the under-18 boys singles division, tournament number 1 seed, Stefan Koingsvest from Bolivia defeated Harry Butler from Great Britain in straight sets 6-1, 6-love. Rohan Jakok from USA defeated Robert Hammond in straight sets 6-4, 6-3. Number 6 seed, Luis Molina from Bolivia defeated American Dimitri Bird in straight sets 6-1, 7-6, while in the girls under-18 singles, number 1 seed Naomi Waters from USA defeated fellow American Margaret Owensby in straight sets 6-1, 6-1. 5th seed American Katie LaFrance defeated Kian Motsano in straight sets 6-1, 6-2. American Kate Paulus defeated Lillian Galbrenzi from Norway in straight sets 6-4, 6-2, and Claire Koch from Canada defeated Dakota Fordman from USA in straight sets 6-2, 6-love. The Bermuda Cricket Board and Shivers Wriggles today announced the winner of the weekly Shivers Cricket Sportsman Award. Making the announcement was Fiona Holmes from the Bermuda Cricket Board.
We are pleased to announce that Ricky Brangman Jr., captain of Devonshire Rec, has won this award due to his sportsmanship during the Devonshire Rec versus Bermuda Cricket Board under-18 game. Ricky noticed that there were only 10 men listed on the game sheet, and he allowed the under-18s to add an 11th man at the last minute. For his act of sportsmanship and encouragement for the Bermuda young cricketers, Ricardo Brangman of Devonshire Rec has been selected as the Shivers Sportsman of the Week.
I'm just going to congratulate you on behalf of Goslings and Shivers and present you with this bottle of Shivers 18.
Okay. Thank you very much on behalf of Shivers and Goslings and the board, and I'd like to thank my team for everything, and it was a good game on the weekend too.
Well, 25 boats went to the start line for race day 9 of the Wednesday night sailing series that begins and ends in the Hamilton Harbor just off the Fairmont Hamilton Princess. Crossfire crossed the line first with a time of 1:09.25 and with the correct time of 1:16.09, saw them finish 5th on the night. Nasty Medicine was the second boat to cross the line. They clocked a time of 1:12.06 and their correct time of 1:18.39, saw them finish 9th on the night. The third boat to cross the line on the night was Mayhem, clocking a time of 1:19.05 and with a correct time of 1:14.08, saw them finish 1st on the night. Smokin' was the second boat on the night with a corrected time of 1:15.36 after recording a time of 1:21.46, while Yabsta was third on the night with a corrected time of 1:15.42. Honey Badger was the fourth boat on the night with a corrected time of 1:15.52. Meanwhile, T.I., skippered by Greg Martson, can now be confirmed as the overall winner of the 2015 Marion Bermuda Race Founders Division. As expected, the leader for the overall corrected time trophy, the Founders Trophy, moved from Class C to Class D when T.I. grabbed the lead for the big prize. Following very exciting news that came on Monday, VSB Sports can now confirm that Jessica Lewis has qualified for the 2016 Paralympic Games. The confirmation came when the International Paralympic Committee posted the standards for Rio 26 Paralympics. The Rio Paralympic standards are for the 100 meters, the A standard being 19:05, with the B standard being 20 seconds. Lewis has had a time this season of 16:98. For the 400 meters, the A standard is 1:01, with the B standard being 1:10. Lewis has a time of 1:01.13, reaching the B standard time. In the 800 meters, the standard is 2 minutes. The B standard is 2:20. Lewis has a time of 2:06.69. Lewis now waits for the official word from the International Paralympic Committee that Bermuda will be given a place at the Games. This will not come until early next spring. Jillian Teixeira continued competing in the international jumping event in Belgium. On day 2, competing in the 1.40 meter table A class, Teixeira, riding Lac Vals, finished 59th, The pair recorded a time of 67.03, and they had 8 penalty foul points. Teixeira and Amarula competed in the 1.35-meter two-phase class, and they finished 4th, clocking a clear round time of 33.86. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Friday, June 26th, there will be sunny periods with a couple of showers. Winds will be southwesterly and moderate. We are expecting a high near 86 Fahrenheit and a low near 77 Fahrenheit. This weather forecast is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News online for Thursday, June 25th. I'm Peter Kitzel.